Hello everyone, welcome to my bold and beautiful Gossip Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Finn and Minister make a stunning revelation. In a back street in Los Angeles, Elder and Finn checked that Tom had seen the lady in the photograph enter the empty structure. Tom said he'd been cautioned to avoid that structure. He encouraged them to do likewise. Discharges and police alarms rang out, and Tom ran off. As Elder and Finn took off to the unwanted structure, inside it, a lady lay on a bedding on the floor underneath covers. Minister and Finn entered the dull, moist structure, and the lights on their telephones enlightened the way. Minister called for Sheila, and Finn noticed the absence of telephone gathering. Not entirely set in stone to look through every last bit of that spot. As they called out for Sheila, Minister said it smelled dreadful in there, as though something had passed on. They showed up at a binded door and watched rodents disperse on the opposite side of it. Elder snatched a line and busted off the chain. They proceeded with their hunt, and figuring Sheila had been there for a really long time, Elder considered what sort of shape she was in. Finn said they couldn't surrender. Elder kicked in an entryway. Finn pointed and said there was something down there. They advanced down a flight of stairs and separated in a passage. Finn went into a room. Sheila's words about being his most memorable home reverberated through his brain. On the floor, he saw coverings, void chip sacks, water containers, and juice bottles. Finn saw a sleeping cushion. A body was on it underneath a cover. Finn stooped down and contacted the cover. He hollered for Elder, who slid in close to him. They moved the body, clad in dark, over. Tousled hair balanced notwithstanding the female structure. Elder eliminated the lady's right boot and sock, uncovering 9 dark painted toes. Sheila. Elder reported. Finn cleared the hair off of her face, articulating, "Mom." In Eric's office, Brooke, Edge, and Steffi met. Steffi was diverted as Brooke said HFTF hadn't thought twice notwithstanding Thomas getting some much-needed rest. Edge woke up Steffi from her dream, and she communicated worry that something had been at the forefront of Finn's thoughts that morning. She generally knew when something was off with him, regardless of whether she understood what it was. She made statements had been fine, yet that morning, he'd been gazing at nothing. Steffi would have rather not made a big deal about it, yet the last time she'd had that inclination, it had been Sheila. Steffi abhorred discussing Sheila and was finished with her. Brooke inquired as to whether Finn was. Steffi stated that it was absolutely impossible, that it very well may be about Sheila. Edge concurred, declaring that Sheila was long gone until the end of time. Steffi actually appeared to be shaken. With her eyes, Brooke provoked Edge, who understood Steffi about that evening. Steffi reviewed that the tempest had made her jittery. She'd seen a shadow. Sheila had ventured into her pocket, and Steffi had thought Sheila had a firearm. Steffi streaked back to killing Sheila and seeing Sheila and her blood. Steffi remembered acknowledging she'd killed Sheila Carter. Edge embraced Steffi. At Il Giardino, Liam and Bill ate and kidded about the possibilities of Liam's ex-miscreant in regulation comping Liam's feast while Liam was with Bill, the man who'd pursued Sheila. They toasted their capacity to be there however much they needed without seeing Sheila. Bill saluted Liam on working effectively in getting an agreement. Liam trusted that his needs were restricting, and he was centered around his children and profession. Bill was delighted to hear it. Liam conceded that expectation and Steffi were, as well, in light of the fact that wavering to and fro between them such a long time hadn't been really great for them or him. He would have rather not done it any longer. Bill said he was in support of Liam's recently discovered center. Liam said it was really great for Spencer's main concern, however Bill answered that it was great for Liam by and by, which was similarly as significant. Liam added that it was really great for Trust, who was doing likewise in her own life. Bill called it a fascinating fortuitous event, yet Liam expressed that it was actually to be expected assuming one took a gander at the express their marriage had been in when it had finished. He felt that they were wasting their time and searching for new reason and personality. Bill contemplated whether the common point of view could mean a gathering. "We're simply not contemplating that at this moment," Liam answered. Bill squeezed a little about it occurring not too far off. Liam, who knew not to say never, answered that at that point, he was zeroing in on parenthood. Sure that work would be a nearby second, Bill praised Liam for his development and mindfulness. Bill accepted that Liam was obviously following his dad's model. Liam answered that Bill had consistently had Liam covered. Bill demanded that Liam couldn't pound himself about the wavering thing, and it wasn't the manner by which Bill saw it. Bill couldn't blame his child for going gaga for two extraordinary ladies. Charge chose to remind Liam that they'd adored him, as well, and for good explanation. In Bill's view, having two families was a gift, not something to feel remorseful about, and he didn't view it as wavering. Liam answered that Bill was a piece one-sided. Bill said that he saw a man who had never evaded his obligations and had forever been there for those he cherished. Bill concluded that it hadn't been uncertainty, it had been that Liam hadn't had the option to be wherever he'd needed to be without a moment's delay. Liam inferred that it hadn't been fair, and he wouldn't continue picking either them and altering his perspective. He was appreciative for his families, which were things he'd done well. Bill appreciated Liam's goals yet said being Mr. Single Person may be harder than Liam naturally suspected. Liam answered that wasn't intense, and he could be cheerful. Bill brought up that their discussions generally went to trust or Steffi. Liam said it was on the grounds that he needed to treat the ladies with the regard they merited. Bill thought the method for doing that was by valuing them for what their identity was, cultivated ladies and extraordinary moms. As the men discussed the positive attributes of the ladies, Bill noticed that Steffi had brought something else to Liam's life. Liam recognized the energy and experience and said consistently had been another involvement in her. He was appreciative that he'd been with her and got to co-parent with her. In any case, she was dedicated to Finn, and nothing would destroy them. We're almost certain that positively nobody in the striking and wonderful crowd was amazed by the person's most recent revival. From the second Steffi cut the baddie, we were dubious, even as Kimberlyn Brown gave interviews about the fact that she was so miserable to settle Sheila. In another meeting with Cutoff Time, the entertainer demands she had no clue she was being brought back, however says she is presently arranging another agreement. Pick your number one articulation, be it, we weren't that gullible, or, this ain't our most memorable rodeo, and apply it generously. We didn't know precisely the way in which things would work out, we actually have a few significant inquiries with respect to how Sugar saw this all working out. Yet, Sheila, dead? That was never actually a thought. Presently, with Elder and Finn having found the nine-toed miracle, everything boils down to one extremely unavoidable issue, which is essentially at the core of each and every cleanser storyline, what occurs straightaway. Minister Finn. Clearly, Sheila was not the individual who endeavored to get rid of Steffi. All things considered, she seems to have been seized by Sugar who, it appears to be reasonable, needed to approach her as retribution for what went down between them a long time back. You can learn about the Sugar/Sheila history here. Something lets us know this will go quite far in relaxing how Finn feels about his, express it with us, natural mother. This will, thusly, lead to enormous issues with his better half, Steffi, who most certainly won't out of nowhere begin feeling contrastingly about her beast in regulation.